Hello, my dear economically savvy comrades. I wasted about 1,000 hours of my lifetime into this beautiful game, so I want something to show for it. So I made my first video about a save game, which I'm currently playing. It's 9088, start date 9060. We are in Cosmonaut play mode. So there are no auto buildings, no auto transportations of resources. You can see only the first month there was anything built automatically. We had about 350 immigrants in the first month. We never auto transported, and there are some modded buildings in usage, but there are no Cosmonaut rules for vehicles because that's just stupid. I don't want that. It's just too much clicking and it's disgusting. Okay, so to the modded buildings. All the modded buildings I use should not be dirt cheap. As you can see, the residential area here is pretty cheap. That's the first residential area we had, but all other flat build residential buildings are pretty expensive. I only used this People Palace flats afterwards, so that's a pretty expensive one. And there are also no modded buildings which alter the supply chain. For example, we use huge chemical plant producing 5 tons of chemicals, and it's just a multiplier from the vanilla one, with a little bit more workers in use. There's one exception though. I use bucket dredgers because the map just doesn't have enough stone. It's way too few to fulfill the needs of the industry. We have about 15 to 20 bucket dredgers working, so about 450 to 600 tons of gravel produced each day. That would be just impossible, even if I used every little stone depot there is. It's not possible. So I use those bucket dredgers. I mean, supply chain wise, it's the same. You use fuel and get gravel. It's just one step fewer. So that's the one thing I made a little bit more easy, because otherwise it would just not be possible. So the goal set is we want to be resource independent by December 1991, and this could be possible. We just need meat, clothes, and alcohol, and then we achieved our goal. The next goal would be by the year 2000. We want car production, we want truck production, trains, and planes, all with locally sourced resources, nothing imported, and we'll export a lot of them just to show off, nothing else. And by the year 2010, I want to have 10,000 tourists making vacation in our beautiful republic, just to show the dirty capitalist pigs that socialism can work. That's the only thing. Okay, let's go to this map. The map is named Osero Uzmaz. I'll post a link in the description down below. I chose this map because it has a big lake in it. It's pretty flat. I like those two things, but the most important thing is just the resources are very concentrated. You have coal, you have iron. There's a little bit of oil, not much, but it's enough if you try to minimize consumption. Uranium, we don't use that yet, and bauxite, we don't use that either. So you can see, yeah, the resources are pretty concentrated in some areas, and you'll have to transport quite a bit to make efficient industries. But I like it that way because you can make really big industrial areas, just like it was historical in socialism, in the GDR and the in the USSR, and that's how we want to set up our republic. Yeah, so the next difficulty is the lake, because yeah, it's a pretty big obstacle. You need big bridges. That's the beginning bridge, and that's the updated one. There are only a few border posts. So this was the first border post. You can see it's only road connection. In the beginning it was pretty hard because the first industry fuel needed to transport it until here, and it took a long time. So I had to take about 16 million credits to make it work, to make the line work, to set up fuel production. It took pretty long. I think about 8 years until that was going. But after that, it was quite profitable. So we could get rid of our loans pretty fast, and then didn't have to take much more loans, only in little circumstances. But yeah, that would just be a stupid rule for the Cosmonaut playthrough, which wouldn't make it possible to play on this map and to start here. It just wouldn't be possible otherwise. So yeah, that's that. Let's get to our cities. We have 3 cities working. This is the first city. Then there's a second city with a residential area here, production area here. I'll show you it in detail later. And the third city is here, pretty big, that's the biggest city, and it will be quite a lot bigger by 91, I hope. So let's start. The first industry was fuel. There's about 190 tons production of fuel in this area, which is all converted to fuel. The storage is full because the first city also produces oil, and it was not possible to manufacture it until the city was fully operable. So I transported the oil here, so this storage is full. And yeah, also you can only use about 200 to 220 tons of oil a day, because you don't always have 500 workers in the refinery. So that will be enough fuel production for quite a while. And yeah, this was the first residential district. People are getting to work by bus in here, and we have a little construction area here with a concrete plant, with an asphalt plant. Quite vanilla everything. Bucket dredgers are working here, and as you can see, there's also iron production going on here. The iron is being sent to the second city and used to make steel there. You can see everything is working quite okay. Iron is not a problem in the supply chain. It's working quite okay. We also have the possibility to get iron for a third steel plant right here, and there's also the possibility to expand into here. So iron, this city will expand probably, but not yet. After we'll be resource independent, we'll need more steel, and then it will happen. So this residential district is supplying the iron industry. Oh, we don't have any electronics here yet. Oh, that's good to see. We'll change that later. And also, it's supplying food industry. We have here our first food industry. Yeah. Fire stations are working there. We don't have any helicopter fire stations. Where are they? Ah, here. Here's one. There's a second one. And should be a third one somewhere over here. I'm not sure yet where though. Yeah, here. Yeah. So they can go everywhere. You don't need helicopters. I think that's lame. And we have food production here. It is enough for now, but we'll have to expand it. We'll see how that goes. We'll need a new district. Those crops are yeah, it's almost enough for those 2 food factories that they are producing all the time. As you can see, it's July. We have almost 7,000 tons left, and that should make it until September with full production. But it could be that it won't be possible. Yeah, we don't export any food. Everything is used locally. Okay, we have night now, so you can see there are no outages. Everything is working fine. Yeah, the electricity is being made in the second city, and that's a perfect time to show it to you. Here is the residential area. There are quite a lot of workers living here. About, I think, 16,000. They are working in construction materials. We have cement plant, we have a prefab factory, we have brick factory here, electricity production, big coal power plants. They are working quite hard. We need a lot of power in our republic, and they are supplied by train and bus, so there is never any problem for. Oh, that's not much. Okay, we'll see, but it should be okay, I think. Yeah, sometimes it's not perfectly balanced, but because we have 2 different modes of transportation, it works fine. There weren't any outages yet. Yeah, you can see there's a big train network. Construction materials are being transported from here into the network. There's steel production here. We have 2 steel mills operating here, and a mechanical components factory. Oh, there's not much now. Okay, there should be people incoming. 160. Okay. Something is not working right. Yeah, but should be okay. We'll look at that later. The mechanical components factory is working for construction and for the third city. There are quite a lot of workers working here. We have the heating plants also on this side, so there's no pollution anywhere near the residential areas. There is one problem though. We have two roundabouts next to each other, and when there is a lot of construction traffic or snow, then it can lead to congestions. So you have to take a look always at this area, but we'll solve that problem. There's a supply district here, supplying food, alcohol, clothes into the city, and yeah, we'll put a supply district there, so there won't be any supply traffic going into here, and that should probably solve that traffic problem. But otherwise, everything is set up so there are minimal ways to block each other. We have pretty efficient road network going on here. Construction vehicles are stationed here, and there are a lot of them in use right now. I'll show you later where they are going, but first we'll go into the third city, and there is a pretty big road network going here, going to maybe the fourth city when it's being built, and going up there into the third city. So this whole thing you can see here is just one industrial district, which is producing electronics and electronic components. So we'll start at the beginning. Oil production. There are about 80 tons of oil being produced here. Each day those are shipped into storages and then made into plastics. So there is a big plastic factory going on here. We have huge chemical plants here. There are the workers coming. So looks a little bit better again. I'm not sure why it's not working properly right now. There should be more workers being filled there. But yeah, it's always hard to have it with all the time running at 90% with only trains. There are 3 trains working on each line, so should be enough. But apparently I think there are too much working in this construction. That couldn't be the case. So that should solve itself pretty quickly. Getting back to the production line. Here, those chemicals are produced for the plastics. We have 22 tons of plastics, which are all used up in this industrial district. We have 3 large electronic components factory producing about 22 tons each a day. The steel is coming from the second city. Chemicals are coming from here, and already we have also fire stations working everywhere here. There's another fire station. Then we have here electronics assembly hall. So we have about 24 tons of electronics produced each day here when fully operated, and which should be the case as soon as most constructions are finished in the residential district. So everything here is calculated to just be enough The 20 tons of chemicals are almost all used here. There's a bit of overflow, but it will be used up by clothing production, fabric production, and yeah, there were a little bit of overproduction from plastics, because yeah, when you are building this kind of industrial areas in Cosmonaut mode, it just takes a long time to get it fully running, and it's pretty hard. So yeah, the first steps in the supply chain, they are running 5 to 6 years before everything is finished. And yeah, so we have quite a bit of storage of plastics. We'll see what we'll make of it. I don't want to export it because we have enough money and we import very few materials. So we'll just let it in stock and maybe use it for manufacturing industry in the fourth city somewhere. We'll see. So there's a supply network here, large warehouse, meat storage, fuel storage, so there are no big supply lines. Yeah, big trucks are bringing the fuel in from the first city, and smaller ones are distributing it. And yeah, there's this supply district which does the same with food. You can see the small ones are going out here and the big ones are coming in there. We try to put it in here because, as you can see, there is a problem with two roundabouts next to each other. There is congestion because yeah, you need a lot of space for construction traffic. If you are building stuff like this, it needs a lot of concrete, a lot of steel. It's just, yeah, I hope when the construction here is finished, then that should be over. There's also some problems. Oh yeah, there's some problems for food because of that. Yeah, I'll probably have to do something to make the food and the alcohol coming in faster. Yeah, but for now I just show you everything. We have a supply district here, which is not working yet. Just the thought process for this supply district is we want to bring supplies in by train, maybe here, and then immediately distribute it without the use of further roundabout traffic, because yeah, when the car is coming from here, it needs to go all the way through that, and then it can only supply the goodies my people want. That's a pretty big problem, so we'll do something to solve that. But as you can see, it's a pretty big city yet, and it will be even bigger. Meat and clothes will also need workers, but as you can see, there are a lot of workers already in here. There are some food problems because of this congestion here. This will solve itself. There's not a big problem. Most of the residential areas are pretty good supplied, and there are a lot of workers living here. We have 2 train stations and 1 bus platform supplying the industrial areas. So this residential area is feeding into this industrial area, and there are about 2,000 workplaces here, which need to be all supplied. And yeah, that's pretty big usage. You can see it here, incoming. There's a steel export going on right now. And then you have the bus platform is just used for construction mainly. And some smaller fire stations, some smaller some smaller plants here, like the wood cutting post and stuff like that. But the big one is this here again. 2 train lines are going out of it into here and into here. So there are about 1.2k workplaces here, and another 900 here. So about 2,500 in total, which is enough. Maybe we can put one residential flat in here again. But as you can see, there are almost no unemployed workers. And I calculated the workplaces and the residential areas, so it should work pretty fine. We'll see when that shit is finished. Yeah, we don't need that much. That's pretty stupid. Yeah. So next steps here. As I said, meat production. These fields here fully reserved for meat. We have livestock farms here, livestock halls. We have fire stations being built. People will be brought in by bus here because it's just not that many workplaces. Train is won't be efficient for this little space here. And then if we go down, you can see another big industrial area. So there's a huge fabric factory. It's producing about 25 tons of fabric a day, which will be all locally used. We have 3 big clothing factories and 1 small one. And the excess crop will be used for livestock farms. And I want to set the meat district here. Slaughterhouse, a few workers, and we'll have a nice train income here with a clover leaf, so there won't be any blockades, and we will need a lot of crops for that. It's just ridiculous if you calculate how much crops you need for a slaughterhouse to be fully operated. It's just astonishing. It's like 1 million or 1.5 million tons, I think, a year. I don't have that yet, so we have about maybe 10 to 15% usage in the slaughterhouse when it's being built, and we'll need a lot more crops. Yeah, this area is used for food. As you can see here, there's a vanilla factory and a little bit bigger modded factory. They are using up all the crops here pretty good. As you can see, it's sowing. Oh no, it's harvest time already, and we still have some crops left, so it's working. We don't export anything. All the food is locally used, and that's a lot. So yeah, those are about an half operational the whole time, and yeah, they are supplying food into here. They are supplying food here, and also in the third city, and to here. So that's the food network. I cannot change there anything. I had alcohol there until it was just not feasible anymore, because yeah, you need so much fuel for 68,000 people. Alcohol was locally produced. Is it not anymore? We'll produce alcohol in the future here. So there's also already some road networks being built for the crop production. This district will also supply the chemical plants with crops, and yeah, a little bit of food, and I think some excess livestock production, which will be sent by truck probably into here, or maybe a little small food factory which just supplies the city locally, and yeah, that should be enough. But we will need a lot more when we're building the fourth city. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And what's next? So in December 1991, we want to be resource independent. I think it is possible. We have to build this district till the end. This district, we'll have to finish crop production here, make a little production district here, and we'll need about maybe 15,000 workers, which will have a residential area here. They will go in by train through here. There will be about a bit more than 2,000 workers being needed here all the time. So, and about 300 maybe here in this area with all the fire stations. Yeah, there's also fire stations being built here, there. So yeah, we'll need about 10,000, 12,000, maybe a little bit more workers in the third city, in the new district here, and the other district maybe will just expand our bus network a little bit, coming through here, and make sure they are being sent where they are needed. Yeah, after that we will build our fourth city. The fourth city will just be manufacturing cars, trucks, trains and planes. So after 2000 we won't import any vehicles. We will locally produce everything for the vehicles and export quite a lot of cars, I hope. I'm not sure yet if I will give a lot of cars to the population here, because as you can see, the trains are working pretty good, and it would just not be feasible to have that many people coming in by car in this industrial areas. It wouldn't be possible. It would be just a stupid thing to do, and my computer would crash probably immediately, and I don't want that. So yeah, No cars for you probably. But as you can see, we have a bitty prick electronics industry going on. We are supplying the population with radios, TVs, and computers. Started about a year ago, maybe. So they will need quite a lot more, and it's working quite good. It's going up pretty fast, but we'll see if we can. Yeah, we can make it any better. Put it on all, just to show you. Didn't import any of that stuff before. It was produced locally. There were some dev waves, smaller ones, and yeah, but it's going pretty okay. The population is rising quite stable, and will definitely have enough access workers to put in the new district. Should be working pretty good. Just supply wise, it will be a little bit difficult. I'm not sure if this area can supply another 15k. Not sure about that. We'll see. Maybe we'll have to put a little pressure from it. Put some supplies in here and start going there. But for now, it's okay. Oh yeah, congestion is over. University was being built. Oh no, it's no university. It's a big cultural building. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, food problem is over. Everyone is fine. Looks good. Yeah. So that was it. If you have any questions, I'll happily answer them. I hope you liked it. For my part, I do like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't show it. It's pretty efficient. Yeah, everything is being built in Cosmonaut mode. I just hope I'll get to my first goal and won't fuck anything up. Yeah. The winter is not a big problem. The heating plants are doing pretty good job. We have some heating plants here, some heating plants there. They are heating this whole area pretty good, and it's also heating plants right on the shore here, so there's also enough coal to supply everyone. And yeah, you see, supply wise it's working pretty good. There should be more workers coming in here. Something is not right. Maybe I need more workers there, because the radio station, the TV station, they are pretty new, and I had some unemployment in the city. Now there's no unemployment anymore, so I'm pretty sure I have to build some residential build areas. Oh, I can. That would be easy. That would be an easy fix. But I think there was no connection to the train station here, yeah. But I can do that. That's an easy fix, yeah. We can do that. Yeah, but I'll do that later. So for now, I wanted to show everything before the first goal is reached, and I'll probably make another video when the second city is being planned, the fourth city is being planned, and everything is working. Maybe I'll do a streaming video even, and not just when everything is finished, because the part I like the most is when everything is planned and set up, and oh, there needs a connection into here. Those are food trucks. Should be food. Yeah. Okay, we'll make a connection. Yeah. The part I like the most is the planning, and then when everything is planned, to just hit the space bar and watch it being constructed. It's just beautiful. When you have a big residential district being constructed, everything at the same time. That's the thing I like the most. So maybe I'll make a video when the fourth city is finished planning, and just hit unhit pause and just watch the glorious efficiency working. That's my favorite part. So maybe I'll make a video of that. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you again. Bye bye.